session. Any announcements of actions taken in closed session?
Yes. In closed session, to satisfy an inquiry by the County Office of Education, the board took action by a vote of 5-0 with members Calderon Jr., Castillo, Calderon, Alvarado, and Romero in favor and no members opposed, to ratify and report out prior authority given to the district representatives Cesar Vega and Brian Thurman on June 20, 2019, to enter into the settlement agreement of July 24, 2019 with CSEA and its Chapter 399 regarding per case number LACE 6208E, consistent with the parameters provided by the board. The material terms of the agreement included the distribution of settlement sum of $100,000 to be amongst affected unit members as identified and in the sums determined by CSEA. The motion was made by Mr. Castillo, and it was seconded by Mr. Lencho Calderon. Okay.
Okay, now we'll go to public comments. We have Clifford Weiler. Sure. Yeah, there's another comment. We'll hear from Mr. Ricardo Ortega.
That's item K9.
Okay. You want to talk about it when we go to K9? Okay, thank you. So we'll wait for Mr. Calderon to come in. Let's begin? Okay, Mr. Weiler.
As many of you know, this is my last meeting. I have been assisting Calexico Unified School District and the board and the educational community probably for about 20 years, except for a couple of years. And in fact, as I was driving out here, I was thinking I probably represented this district longer than, before some of these people were born, some of your students were born. I have enjoyed it immensely. I know this sounds trite, but I have felt honored and privileged to serve you. I hope I've benefited the district. I wanted to say thank you to all and express my appreciation this way because, like I said, it's been 20 years, and the only way to thank the people from 18 years ago is to do it so that it's video live broadcast and archived. So thank you all, and I mean that at every level of the school district. Board members, administrators, even the secretaries that I've tormented. And thank you for tolerating me. And with that, my final thank you. And it's time for me to, as in the old westerns, drive off into the sunset. So thank you very much, and be well.
Thank you.
Thank you, Mr. Weiler.
Mr. Weiler, you will be missed. Now we'll go to the presentations, highest attendance.
So as you know, every month we celebrate the school site with the highest attendance, and this time we had a tie. So we will be dividing our trophy because we have one trophy, and so we'll split the first 2 weeks will go to Blanche Charles, and the second 2 weeks will be to Enrique Camarena. So if I could please have the representatives and the staff for Blanche Charles Elementary. And right next to them, if I can have the staff from Enrique Camarena. Yeah, we're gonna do that. So the percentage that both sides had for month 3 was 96.52, and that was a tie. Okay. So the trophy says making a difference, and so I'm gonna hand it for both, but I'm gonna hand it for Blanche Charles. You get to keep it 2 weeks, and then we'll remind you. Share. Congratulations.
Thank you. Congratulations.
You're so welcome. Thank you. Don't leave yet.
Let me place it on my home for a week.
Ready for each two?
Okay, now we have student representative reports. Aurora, are we wrong?
Members of the board, good evening. Members of the public. Ariwan couldn't make it tonight, so I will be reading the report. As for Aurora High School, students were awarded the weekly perfect attendance on Friday the 6th and Friday the 13th, which is tomorrow. We will have a fire drill on the 19th. I'd like to announce that over 40 students participated in the 40th Annual Farm Worker Appreciation Breakfast, helping set up and serve breakfast. Aurora has also partnered with our neighbors, Blanche Charles Elementary, to help construct and decorate their Christmas float. We've also partnered with our neighbors across the street at William Moreno Junior High to assist with the Circle of Friends program. We will be having awards assembly for citizenship, honor roll, attendance, credits earned, and outstanding effort, which will be scheduled in January. And next week, students will participate in the Spirit Week, where they will have uniform options to wear on Pajama Day, Flannel Day, Winter Wonderland Day, and the final would be the Christmas colors. And I hope everyone has a safe and fun holiday season. Thank you.
Thank you.
Thank you.
Calexico High School, Abigail Cepeda.
Calexico High School right now is working on a toy drive, and we're collecting funds in order to give needy children their toys that they deserve, and that's all that we're working on right now. And
That's nice. Thank you.
so,
Okay, thank you very much. Calexico High School 9th grade campus. Christine Noriega.
Good evening. My name is Kristen Noriega, and I'm the Public Relations of CHS 9. Our activities during this short month include of a toy drive, a movie during our Inclusions Week, where our teachers showed a video every day of the week for inclusion. And on Friday, we ended the week with a movie with our circle of friends. Today, we had our parent picnic, where parents could come to our school to eat with us in lunch. On Saturday, December 14, we will have our Christmas parade, where our CHS 9 ASB would be participating. And then next week would be we would be having finals, and I know everyone would be looking forward to December 20th to start our winter break. Thank you.
Thank you very much. Enrique Camarena, Jose Jimenez.
Good evening.
Good evening.
Good evening. In the month of December, ASB coordinates several student activities, and one of them is the toy and blanket drive. So we will be collecting toys and blankets to contribute to local charities, as well as last month we collected over 1,200 canned foods donated to charities, and we take pride in our Firebird contributions. This week was Spirit Week, where Firebirds get to express their Christmas spirit. Like today, it was Christmas that day, and we hosted a Christmas carnival and tree lighting ceremony today, which I believe was a pretty good success, and I hope people liked it. And we ended Next week, we end the semester 1 with final exams, and Mr. Romero will coordinate study sessions for finals college style. And we wish everyone a happy winter break and a Merry Christmas.
Thank you.
Thank you.
Willie Moreno, Nestor Durazo.
Good afternoon. My name is Nestor Durazo, and I am the school representative for William Moreno Junior High. In the last month, we had our Gobble Gobble Turkey Run, and we had 2 winners for both grades. In this month of December, we had our Christmas Spirit Week from the 6th to the 13th. Our door decorating contest will take place on the 13th. A parent picnic in which Santa came to visit, and a toy drive that took place today. The event that is still yet to come is our reindeer games, in which we have 4 stations of different activities, and we rotate so that everyone gets to participate in every activity. This event is happening on December 20th. Thank you for your time.
Thank you very much. Students of the Month recognition, Aurora Cindy Ramirez. She here?
Yes.
Would we come forward with your parents or your family?
Cindy Ramirez Martinez. Cindy would like to take courses to become a phlebotomist, which is a person who is trained to draw and collect blood. She likes to spend time with her family and go to the gym. She made the honor roll of this first trimester, and she would like to thank her mom for all her support. Cindy Ramirez Martinez.
Now we have Jorge Gomez Nunez. Is he here?
Jorge Gomez. I don't see him. Shall I go ahead and read
Yes,
these?
go ahead and read it, please.
Jorge Gomez Nunez. Jorge wants to study criminal justice at... He's here? Oh, there he is. All right. Perfect timing. Is your parent here? No? Okay. Well, there you are. Jorge just arrived. Wait. Instead of studying criminal justice, he should study become a lawyer to get to court on time, just like that. Jorge wants to study criminal justice at IVC and then transfer to San Diego State. His plan B is to join the U.S. Navy. He likes to read about art and loves going to the gym. He made his first trimester honor roll. This is Jorge Gomez Nunez.
Calexico High School, Miranda Franco. Is she here? Oh, there you are.
Since middle school, Miranda has always been motivated to succeed in her education. Her drive comes from the support of her loving parents and the urge to challenge herself through learning new things every day. Now, in her last year of high school, Miranda feels like she has achieved her goal by earning her place in the top 10 ranking in her class and ending every semester with straight A's. She has also been dedicated to her favorite sport of cheerleading since freshman year and is one of 4 varsity cheer captains for this year's season. After graduating, Miranda wants to attend UC Berkeley, where she will major in astrophysics, which is a more challenging and complex version of astronomy, and hopefully do undergraduate research for the university. Her goal after receiving her PhD in astrophysics is to continue doing research-based projects for NASA or other government-funded space agencies. She would also like to be a part of a middle and high school-based program that encourages and inspires other young women like herself to enter a STEM field because she knows how intimidating it could be to succeed in a male-dominated career. Miranda would like to thank her principal, Ms. Williams, for nominating her for this award and her parents for always believing that she would do great things in life. Lastly, because her mother is one of the hardworking and dedicated teachers of this district, she would like to make a plea to the board members to not take away the benefits that her family and so many other families rely on. Thank you.
The next student is Eric Brito. he here?
Do I still read it?
Go ahead and read
Okay.
it. Oh, wait,
Okay.
read it anyway.
Eric Brito is proud to be receiving this honor for District Student of the Month and would like to thank his mother and brother who have helped support him through his academic career and his teachers who foster learning and make school fun. Since he can recall, he has been fascinated by all things science, getting interested in chemistry, biology, and math. Last year, he took AP Computer Science and AP Chemistry and discovered that these two sciences are his passion. Thanks to Mr. Garcia and Mr. Niebla, he knows that he wants to double major in computer science and chemistry. His dream school is MIT, though he knows he'll do well wherever he goes. This year, he becomes president of the robotics club after being the driver last year and wants to continue learning and competing in these science events. Once again, he wants to thank Ms. Williams for giving him this award.
Thank you. The ninth grade campus, Axel Arredondo. Is he here? Come in, please, with your family.
Axel Arredondo. After graduating high school, Axel would like to attend UCSD and major in bioengineering. He would like to then follow his dad's footsteps by owning his own business. He would like to start a business in the pharmaceutical field. Currently, his favorite class is geometry, and his favorite teacher is Miss Panela, who teaches his English class. Outside of school, he enjoys swimming and wants to begin boxing. He also enjoys spending time with his cousins. Axel would like to thank his parents for always pushing him to work harder, and his brother for inspiring him to try out different sports.
The next student is Leida Lopez. Is she here?
Leida Lopez. After high school graduation, Leida would like to attend UCSD to major in nursing. Currently, her goal is to become a nurse, but later she would like to pursue further education in medical field. This school year, her favorite classes have been Spanish and Avid. Her favorite teachers are currently Mr. Cadrillo, who is a student teacher in her math class, and Miss Arellano, who teaches her Spanish class. Her hobbies include singing, being a member of the drill team on campus, and dancing ballet in Mexicali. She would like to thank her parents and her brother for always being helpful with their homework and assignments.
Enrique Camarena. Kate Vasquez.
Kate Vasquez is the daughter of Jorge and Andrea Vasquez. She likes to spend her free time playing volleyball and spending time with family and friends. Her favorite subject in school is literature. When she graduates, she would like to attend a UC or Ivy League college and study to become a marine biologist. She would like to thank her mom, dad, and grandma because they always take care of her, support her, and encourage her to do her best in school and everyday life.
The next student, Jesus Peña.
Jesus Peña is the son of Sofia Gonzalez and Hector Peña. Some of his hobbies are gaming, hanging out with friends, and hanging out with family. His favorite subject in school is math. When he graduates, he would like to go to college and study engineering and to solve world problems like car pollutions. He would like to thank his parents and his teachers. This is because both his parents and his teachers encourage him to succeed in school and in life.
Willie Moreno. Claudia Lopez.
William Moreno's 8th grade district student of the month is Claudia Lopez. Claudia is a daughter of Claudia and Alvaro Lopez. She has 3 siblings. Claudia's favorite class is history. Her favorite food is anything related to Italian food. Her favorite color is blue, and she loves classical music. Claudia's dream car is a Mercedes-Benz. Her role model is Michelle Obama. In the future, she hopes to travel to Italy, France, Germany, and China. Claudia is working hard to maintain good grades in all her classes so that she can get good classes her freshman year in high school. In the future, Claudia hopes to attend an Ivy League university and become a successful lawyer. We wish you the best of luck on your journey, Claudia.
The next student is Orlando Gonzalez.
William Moreno's 7th grade district student of the month is Orlando Gonzalez. Orlando is the son of Rodrigo and Karina Gonzalez. He has 2 siblings, Karim and America. Orlando's favorite subject is math. Some of his other favorite things are sushi and pop music. His favorite color is red. His dream destinations are Spain, Japan, and France. His dream car is a Ferrari. Orlando's role model is Bill Gates. His short-term goal is to enter 8th grade with good grades. He hopes to one day attend UCLA. When he grows up, Orlando wants to be a computer programmer and live a good life. We hope your dreams come true, Orlando.
Now we'll go to staff presentations, and then we'll have a little celebration after that. So Maine's elementary school staff. We'll call Guadalupe Espinosa.
Ms. Guadalupe Espinosa was hired by Calexico Unified School District in March of 1999 and was assigned to Maine's Elementary. Ms. Espinosa enjoys working with students with special needs and feels that the biggest reward that she can have from her job is when students meet their goals. Ms. Espinosa sees Maine's as a second family and is very proud that all her children attended Maine's. On her spare time, Ms. Espinosa enjoys reading, making jewelry, and working on fine arts and crafts. Thank you, Ms. Espinosa, for all your hard work and dedication. Congratulations from all of us at Maine's.
The next employee is Grace Knoll.
Maine's Certificated Employee of the Month is Ms. Grace Knoll. Ms. Knoll is our elementary school counselor. Ms. Knoll was a student at Maine's back in the 70s and began working with Calexico Unified School District in 1995. The best part of her job is working with all staff and students. On her spare time, Ms. Knoll enjoys spending time at home with her family and grandchildren. Maine staff, students, and community would like to congratulate Ms. Knoll and acknowledge all the hard work and dedication to Maine's.
Now we'll take a 5-minute break, and there's cake over here and coffee. Thank you.
Congratulations, everyone.
Congratulations.
Yeah.
We'll go to the consent agenda. Anything members want to pull? I want to pull item I-5. Yes. Is there a motion to approve the consent agenda? So
So move.
Second.
Moved by Lencho Calderon, seconded by Ciro Calderon. All those in favor say aye.
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 Oh, you know what? Oh. Yeah, I just, okay.
Okay, we'll go to item I5.
Hold on. Give me one.
Oh.
Ready?
Can we go back? Can we go back on item I7 on the consent agenda? We can, okay, is there a motion to amend the motion?
I move to amend the motion with the exception of approving I-5 and I-7.
Is there a second?
Second.
All those in favor say aye.
Aye.
Aye, unanimous, thank you. Item I5. Now, I know there's no financial impact to the school district as far as travel cost, but there is the loss of 4 days being,
For subs.
you know, to hire a sub. And I have an issue with that, so I cannot support it.
For the school psychologist, we do not bring in a substitute.
That's not what we're talking about.
You know, still there's loss of, there's 4 days lost of, he's not available for the students for 4 days. So is there a motion or any more
I'll make-
discussion?
Yeah, let me make a comment as well. So, yeah, I can understand, I think the comments. I think I'd also add that, again, as was mentioned, this is not a cost to the district. It's through the program, and as an intern, this individual will probably be looking for employment in the future. I think we need to show our psychologists that this district does support them, even if they're interns, that this could be district for their future employment. And for this individual, I would support it. Again, thinking we're going to grow our own here, so they can stay in the district.
If we are going to be doing this for one person, then, like in my profession, we say if we're doing for one student, we do it for everybody. I've heard of other people being denied conferences simply because not because of the budget, but because they're gonna be missing school and because of the kids. So what is the difference between this person and other teachers or staff in general? Because if we do this, then I will be moved to then allow everybody that wants to go to a conference to do the same thing. So, and it's not happening. So no, I'm not. I concur with Mr. Romero that I'm not in support of this.
Is there a motion to deny or to approve? I make the motion to deny it.
I second.
All those in favor say aye.
Aye.
Any abstentions
All opposed.
or opposed?
Yeah.
4 in favor of rejecting it, and 1 opposed. Item number I7, professional development, approval of 6 science teachers to attend the national conference on science education on April 2nd to 5th in Boston, Massachusetts.
What is
Question? So the National Conference of Science Education, every year it's hosted at a different state. So for example, in 2017, it was hosted in Los Angeles. In 2018, it was in Atlanta. In 2019, it was in St. Louis, Missouri. In 2020, it will be in Boston. And then in looking at the future conferences, in 2022, it'll be in Texas. So we don't know when it's coming back to the United States. They do have other area conferences that we looked into because it's hosted by the National Conference, and they have in 2020 they'll have one in Phoenix, and in 2021 it'll be in LA. But these are area conferences; they're not at the same level as the national conference.
So in 2020, it'll be in Phoenix.
A workshop will be
A
in.
workshop will be in
A
Phoenix.
workshop, But the whole national conference, from what we looked into, even 2022, it'll be in Houston, Texas.
I have a question. How many science teachers do we have at the high school?
I'll have Ms. Williams answer to the question.
Several, a lot more than the ones that are going. About 5, 10, I think maybe around 12 or 13. A couple more.
I'm not opposed to them going, but I'm opposed on the number.
Okay.
The number's 6. I would definitely go for 3, and they can come back and train the rest of the science teachers. It's a lot of money that we're spending, and I think cutting in half and having them come back and train.
Absolutely. We
What
can
was-
definitely
Would
do
be
that.
my recommendation.
And remind me again, what was the funding source?
Title 1.
It's Title I.
Title I high
Title
school?
I.
Okay. And if I can continue, yeah, I mean, if we're following the idea of supporting our teachers, it's hard to, I think, for us to kind of digest, per se, sending 6 out of state. But I think there is value, again, as long as it can be afforded and justified. And I'll give an example. Several years ago, when I was a teacher in the district, our middle school sent staff to the national conference, Daggett Conference. And Mr. Ramirez, you may remember, at Willie Moreno. There were, I think, 2 or 3 years that a team was sent, I think it was Atlanta that year. And to this day, that was been one of the most valued professional development opportunities, because not only do you get national speakers, presenters, international as well, but that time with your colleagues to talk about your curriculum, your plans, in this case, maybe your labs, just everything dealing with your course and curriculum was valuable. And I know to this day, several of those same teachers are still in this district and have moved on to leadership roles. So I think there is value in these activities. 6 may seem like a lot. Title I funding, if we've got it, that's its purpose for these professional development opportunities.
And correct me if I'm wrong, Title I, if we don't use it, it keeps showing that we don't use it, so it might decrease on funding down the road, right? Because it shows that we don't use it.
I don't know about decreasing. Ms. Huerta may be able to answer that, but I do know that we work very hard to spend it. We don't want to send it back. And I think there's a small
exactly.
percentage that is rolled over and then we lose something. But if I may advocate for 4 candidates, and if I may explain why, several of the 4 of the 6 that are going teach different content areas. So if I may advocate for a chemistry teacher to come back and share with chemistry, physics, and a bio, but we also have an anatomy teacher who is part of the 6. That way, the 4 subject areas that we teach at the school, there is someone that can go and bring back specific for that content area.
Could we do 4, Lynch? I'll go.
And they're actually the share of each department?
They're not. The way this was approached to me, the department chair, along with some teachers, came in and submitted the request. They have to, part of the site protocol is they have to justify it. How is this going to benefit the classroom instruction? How many times have they traveled and so forth? I will say that this team, the science team, has not traveled. But long story short, then I give them a number of so many I can afford, calculating all of the site expenses with Title I, and then amongst themselves they choose a lead that will go to a training and come back with information.
All right, thank you, Ms. Williams. I motion to approve the 4.
I second that.
Made by Lencho Calderon, seconded by Ciro Calderon. All those in favor say aye.
Aye.
Aye. Unanimous, thank you.
Thank you.
Now we'll go to the informational items, Superintendent's report.
Welcome, everyone, and good evening. So today we would like to acknowledge and present to our community our newly hired administrators. Some of our administrators were hired during the year of last year, and others were hired this year. Many, if not the majority, are familiar faces to Calexico Unified School District, and we do have one that is new to our CUSD family. And what we would like to do is I will call their name, and we would like for them to share some information about themselves. So first person I'm calling is Miss Elvia Fuentes, principal at Kennedy Gardens Elementary. So just a quick bio. Ms. Fuentes has been an English teacher, and then she became an academic support teacher, and so she is now principal at Kennedy Gardens.
Was she invited?
Yeah.
Okay.
I thought it was I know she was part of our list. The second principal is Ms. Karina Montaño. Ms. Karina Montaño is principal at Blanche Charles Elementary.
Good evening, everyone. My name is Karina Montaño, and I'm honored to introduce myself as the new principal of Blanche Charles Elementary School. This year marks my 21 years as an educator. I'm a proud product of the Calexico Unified School District. My elementary and high school years were spent here in this wonderful community. Truly our saying, once a bulldog, always a bulldog, stays with us forever. My first assignment as an educator was to work as a kindergarten teacher at Jefferson Elementary School, where I spent most of my years as an educator teaching grades kinder through 6. Throughout the years, I was given the opportunity to take on leadership roles such as an ACES coordinator, summer school coordinator, teacher lead roles for the school district, and an academic support teacher for Jefferson School. My last role was a role of a vice principal at Cesar Chavez Elementary. In all honesty, I felt I would never leave the classroom. There's just something so amazing about working with kids and being a part of their lives. To this day, this is what drives my passion, kids. I firmly believe that every child can exceed to their highest potential by providing them with the right nurturing environment. Thank you for this opportunity.
Thank you.
Thank you, Ms. Montaño. And next administrator is Ms. Corina Tavares, principal at Dual Elementary.
Good evening, honorable board members and members of the public. My name is Cori Tavares, and I'm a principal at Dual Elementary, first year administrator ever. Thank you for the opportunity. This is my 22nd year. I did 21 years all at the same school site at William Moreno Junior High School. I was an English teacher for 9 years and then an academic coach for 8 years. I was an English learner coach and then an academic support teacher. I was assistant principal for 4 years. And then I got this crazy idea, and I thought I could be principal. And it's been going awesome. I work at a really great school site with really great people. On a personal note, like Ms. Montaño, I'm from Calexico. I went to Jefferson School and then to De Anza Junior High and to the high school. I studied at IVC English, UCSD Spanish, and then I came back, and I've been here ever since. On a personal note, I have 3 boys, and they attended our public schools, and 2 of them are currently here at Calexico High School. And again, I love what I do, and I do it for the kids, just like Ms. Montaño. And I thank you for the opportunity. I welcome you anytime to Dual Elementary. I have my cafecito tomorrow, and it's going to be awesome. Thank you.
And Mr. Silvano Lopez, the assistant principal at Cesar Chavez Elementary.
Good evening, ladies and gentlemen, board. My name is Silvano Lopez. I am a product of Calexico as well. I jumped around different elementaries as they were opening up. It was like, it's your turn to go to that one. And so I started at Mains. Blanche Charles opened up when I was a 3rd grader. Moved to Blanche Charles. Went to De Anza. Willie Moreno opened. I went to Willie Moreno. And then the high school. I did my schooling here at IVC, San Diego State Imperial Valley College. I've been working for the district for 17 years. I started out as a kindergarten teacher. Then I did 6th grade and 2nd grade. I've been the ACES district coordinator, the ACES migrant specialist for the elementaries. I was an AST at Rockwood Elementary, where I spent most of my time, and I'm right now at Cesar Chavez Elementary as a new vice principal. I'm happy to be here. I'm surrounded by a wonderful staff, very good coach, Ms. Molina. Thank you very much for all your guidance so far. We're doing awesome. I was doing the float, so I just threw this on and came running over here. I'm going to go back there in a little bit. On a personal note, my wife is here. My son, Silvano Fernando, every year my mother-in-law dresses him up as Juan Diego and offers him to the Virgin Mary. So today he's dressed up. He just came from church. So thank you very much. I welcome you to our school site whenever you want to go and visit. It's a wonderful staff. I'm here for the kids, for the community. So thank you very much for the opportunity.
Thank you. And new to Calexico is Dr. Frank Jimenez, Coordinator of Academics and Instruction at Calexico High School.
Good evening, members of the board. My name is Dr. Frank Jimenez. I am the son of Frank Jimenez Sr. and Francis Borges. I was raised in a small town called Florence, Arizona, where I graduated from high school there in 1996. I was fortunate enough to receive a football scholarship to play at Western New Mexico University. I received my BA there in history in year 2000. I began my teaching career in Rialto, California, at Rialto High School in 2004. Taught a variety of social science courses, and I coached a variety of sports, which includes football, baseball, and golf. Became an AD, an athletic director at Carter High School in Rialto in 2011, and I became an administrator the following year there in 2012. And I've been an administrator since 2012, mainly in Rialto, but in San Bernardino, Riverside, and LA counties as well. In 2011, I received my doctorate in educational justice from the University of Redlands. Personally, I've been married for 15 years to my wife, Cynthia, who's also administrator in the Colton Joint Unified School District. I have two daughters, Catherine and Natalie. I would like to thank you for the opportunity of being a part of the educational community here at Calexico. Thank you very much.
Thank you. And then we have Dr. Julie Fernandez, Assistant Principal at William Moreno Junior High School.
Good evening, board. Good evening, board and members of the public. My name is Dr. Julie Fernandez. I'm currently the Assistant Principal at William Moreno Junior High School. I've worked with the Calexico Unified School District for over 9 years in my previous role as a school psychologist. I'm currently working on clearing my preliminary administrative credential, which I earned through the University of Southern California. I am also a credentialed school psychologist with over 12 years of experience working with grades TK through 12th grade. I am also a certified crisis prevention intervention instructor, as well as being certified in applied suicide intervention skills. I've worked at multiple school sites in Calexico. I started off at Mains Elementary and Enrique Camarena Junior High, as well as Rockwood Elementary, and then I moved on to Calexico High School. Prior to Calexico, I started my career at Imperial County Behavioral Health Services, Imperial County Office of Education, and also Yuma Elementary School District 1. Then I found my way home. While working in Calexico Unified, I've been actively involved in participating in the suicide prevention education to students and other stakeholders, promoting mental health awareness along with the coordination of activities and collaboration with Imperial County Behavioral Health. I've also promoted inclusion, serving as the advisor of Circle of Friends at Calexico High School. I've also served on various leadership teams at Calexico High School, such as the Core MTSS team, Department Chair of the Special Education Department, Bulldog Council. I was part of the CHS WASC team, and I was the lead. And also I've served on a WASC visitation committee. Lastly, I'd like to thank you so very much for the opportunities that you have provided me so I could better serve and grow professionally and just continue serving the students, teachers, and other stakeholders here in Calexico Unified. Thank you so much.
Thank you.
Thank you. And our last administrator and our newest to the district is Manel Tapia, Dean of Students at Calexico High School 9th grade campus.
Good evening, members of the board and the public. My name is Manuel Tapia. I am too a product of Calexico Unified School District. I see a lot, several of my former teachers and administrators in the room. I went to Mains Elementary. I kindergarten through 6th, then went to Willie Moreno, then to the high school, graduated there, spent a year at IVC, went to San Diego State, went to another college, junior college in San Diego, transferred to San Diego State, graduated, started subbing right away, became a math teacher. I was a math teacher in the Sweetwater District, Southwest in San Diego for 5 years. Then the next 5 years, I was a combination of the athletic director, attendance coordinator, restorative resource teacher, and all of the above. And then this year, I saw an opportunity to come home, and I couldn't let it go. So I'm here on a personal note. I've been married for 11 years, and I have 2 children, a 9-year-old girl, Isabella, and a 5-year-old boy, Caleb. Thank you very much for this opportunity.
And we would also like to remind our parents and community that the last day of instruction before our winter break is next Friday, December 20th, and classes will resume on January 6th. On behalf of Mr. Gonzalez and myself, we want to wish you all a safe and restful and joyful winter break.
Thank you. Measure V update. Is there any?
Good evening, board members, members of the public, district office staff, and Calexico Unified School District general staff. I'd like to share with you where we currently stand with our facilities update here. I'll start with Calexico High School Culinary Arts Academy. So we held the CBOC, the CBOC attended a tour on December 3rd after the CBOC meeting. We took everybody over to the academy to show the work that has been, that's in progress. If you want to scroll down, I can show you some of that, what it looks like at this point. So the picture on the left is where we're currently at. You can see there that what you're looking at is the building shell, essentially. It's pretty much been gutted. But what we're putting back in right now is the electrical rough-in is going in. You can see some of the vertical and overhead seismic that's being installed in the building. Rebar for uprights, our communication reroute. You can't see the chasing for that, but that's also going in. The plumbing, exterior hookups. You can see the picture on the right-hand side. That's what that is showing. And in addition, the mechanical pads and then the framing exterior window infills. That's all being installed in this state-of-the-art facility. So we've had some unforeseen conditions based on what we call as-built. They were the original plans for the facility, where we don't necessarily, when we look at them, and sometimes when this was built way back when, those plans didn't necessarily measure up to or match up to what the building envelope was. So we had to resolve some of those issues. And so those unforeseen conditions have been resolved. The project's at about 60% complete. We are on schedule for the students to move back into the modernized facility in March. We also have finalized our Office of Public School Construction submittal Phase 4 review, and that was submitted, and also we have received the Phase 4 approval letter, so we can now get to the Office of Public School Construction. The application is at the Office of Public School Construction, but they're going to want to meet with us so we can go over the cost estimates, okay, for reimbursement. That's where the money comes in. Right, exactly. That's the Office of Public School Construction application. That's where you get a portion for your matching funds. Oh, okay. Yeah. That was my question. Yeah. That's good. Yeah. I wanted to add that on this project and both projects, I have to fill this out, and I'd like to commend a couple people that have really been instrumental in helping us to be very supportive of the project and on time and getting us what we need to keep these projects moving. Gabby, the principal at the high school, very, very responsive and also very helpful in accommodating what we need for the construction projects. It's not easy because there's a lot of moving parts because school is in, right? So they've had to really make some major accommodations for us, and they always seem to be very supportive and good to work with. Chris De La Rosa also has just been awesome for us. Very responsive, very helpful, gets us what we need on time. So I wanted to give them a little bit of a shout out because it really does help us when we have a willing partner, right, to move our construction forward, because we know that it causes some disruption in the school day. So thank you guys very much. And that's just a couple. There's others, and I'll blow them up later. Okay. A2 and A3 are high school 12 and 16 classroom modernization project. Modular new construction project. The groundbreaking was held on Tuesday, December 3rd. That was very cool. So enjoyed the band being out there and the performance, and also the culinary students participating in with food and all those other things that they did. The MOT department did a great job of setting up for that event. So all the security fencing is installed. The excavation and off-haul for the 16 classrooms is underway. If you scroll down, you can see what the result of our activities have been. Go the other way, or scroll up. There you go. So that's the excavation for the foundations, which are starting tomorrow. The concrete pour is scheduled to come in and begin and commence tomorrow and over Christmas break. What else do we have here? So we also have the furniture specifications, and also we're vetting out several vendors for furniture right now. We'll be bringing a contract or the procurement method that we're going to be recommending for the furniture to the board for approval. We are on schedule with the student occupancy classroom unit in August, and 16 classroom in 2020, and then the April occupancy in 2021. One of the things that we are doing is that we are going to be starting the parking lot. We'll start ahead of schedule. Gabby, thank you very much for your help with that. Gabby came up with a great plan to help us because we wanted to get this parking lot going. And so she was very instrumental in working with us to get that parking lot area blocked off and get it moving.
Yeah, the Circle Drive.
Circle Drive, right. The art room sink installation is going to happen over Christmas break. That's a change order that the board approved last month. And so that change order will enable the contractor that we currently have for the Culinary Arts building to do the stub out for the sink trenching and water line. And then we'll marry it up with the other, the district MOT is going to come in and do the installation. It'll save you guys a bunch of money if the MOT does it, okay? And then finally, let's see, I also have an update, for the master plan, excuse me, I jumped ahead. So during the month of December, we will be performing facility inspections and then developing a needs assessment with the assistance of Chris and the all-site principals. That involves collection of data, that involves the building shell integrity, health and safety compliance, access compliance, infrastructure, and the list goes on and on. We'll be doing that for every one of the sites. No, we won't finish it in December because it's a long process. It's a lot of data collection. The other thing we'll be doing is we're collecting the existing site plans and reworking them so we can put them in the master plan, looking at the building ground square footages and acreages, and also collection of the enrollment data. So this is kind of like the preliminary piece of it to get things moving. And we will also be looking at the committee once we get the basic committee up and running. That will be a very essential component part of the master plan development as well. So that's where we're at right now. Anybody have any questions about anything?
No.
Okay, thank you very much.
Can I just say one thing?
Oh, yeah, sorry.
So I just want to let you know that we're not only on time, but also on budget. So right now we have about $1 million left on Measure B funds. Every contract that we need to vet, has already been vetted, so approved. So we're under budget, so hopefully we'll keep it that way. All right?
Thank you.
Awesome. Thanks a lot.
Item J3, association comments, ACT. How about CSEA?
Good evening, members of the board. Belen Donato, Calexico 399, chapter president. I just want to tell you that now that we are in times of holidays, I just want to share my best wishes for all of you and your families. And now that you're going to have a few days for resting and enjoying the holidays, please keep in your mind all the classified employees. We need a date for negotiate, and I know that you have the solutions on your hands. So it's going to be a very good present for all the classified families to have a date to start negotiate. We are ready for that. We're happy to be helping the district in all this time, and we want to continue with this good relationship. I just want to mention something else regarding a group of 4 people that's still pending to get the professional growth. All these members are doing an extra effort to go to school, pay their own classes, and then they fill out all the requirements in order to have a professional growth of 5%. And you approve the first group, then they got the 5% increase only for the first ones that started the process. So we have a second group that's still pending, and they're not supposed to be on a pending position. They has to be in the same list like the other ones that you approved last month. So they're still pending with no checks, and I think they deserve, because they finished with all the legal process like the other ones, they deserve to have the checks right now. And I don't see any reason why those checks are holding for them. Thank you very much.
Thank you very much. Okay, item J4, ROP committee.
Richard, we meet next week on the 17th, so I have nothing to report.
Are we meeting it?
No, email.
Oh, yeah, we haven't met. We will meet next week.
Okay.
The only question I have is if Mr. Castillo is still up to the dancing, because he is. Because I think he was put in the hat to dance, and I just want to, in public, just ask him. Well, yeah, that's. I think he's getting cold feet. No?
I haven't heard anything about that.
All right, well, then, there's the answer. I thought you were already in, so.
Yeah. Well, no one's contacted me yet.
Oh, okay. All right, well, okay, I think he's ready. So that's the only thing I have, so.
Okay, thank you.
Thank you, Richard.
LCAP committee.
So during the month of January, we began our LCAP stakeholder input for the 2021-2022. But in December, we always meet to share with our parents and our community an informational meeting of what were our items that we had in our goals and actions in 2018-19, and then what were some of the changes in our current actions, which is 1920. So our meeting will be held next week on December 17 at 6 p.m. at Cesar Chavez Elementary. Thank you, Cesar Chavez, for hosting us. And so everybody's invited, and hopefully we have a big show up on the night. And so board members, you're also invited. It's next week, Tuesday, December 17 at 6 p.m. At Cesar Chavez, yes. And that's it.
Thank you very much. J5, accounts payable pre-list. Any comments on the pre-list? We'll move on to J6, board reports. Mr. Castillo.
Sure, thank you. And again, as we finish this year, I just want to thank the board, colleagues on the board here for their support over this last year in my role over where Mr. Romero is now sitting as president. Again, thank you for your support. I think we had a good year, a lot of activities, a lot of things happening. On other notes, again, there's a lot of good things happening in the district. I think we say that all the time. Progress happening, activities, school, classroom, student projects. And I think some of the conversations lately was, we're doing the constant contact, but what else can we do to show our community the good things happening in the district, especially with the facilities? As we've gone and worked with our Measure V and getting the community support, we need to make sure we're proactive in showing them what's happening, the progress we're making. Again, those are their public dollars that they voted to support these projects with. So I think, some conversations I'd like to have with probably Mr. Gonzalez or Ms. Ramirez is maybe what kind of a marketing plan or promotional plan, PR plan, can the district maybe put together, share with the board for input, and then begin implementing. Again, we need to show our community what's happening in the district. We do constant contact, but there's other things we can do. And then the second piece I'll ask for, this will be a request for our next agenda item, next board meeting as an agenda item. If we can revisit our discussion about some of the surveillance cameras, surveillance plans at our schools or at our high school or secondary, maybe as a pilot again. We had some conversations last year, but I think we need to revisit. Again, thinking of our supervision, safety, security, I think that's a conversation we need to revisit. We had some plans in place. And so.
We've actually begun the process.
Good.
I don't know if you want them to just share a little bit. Next
Not
board
right
meeting?
now. Bring it to us next time, yeah.
Okay, we'll do that for next
Yeah,
meeting.
we don't need it right now.
Okay.
But let's continue that conversation or add it as an agenda item next meeting.
Okay, thank you.
And again, I'll close, best wishes, everyone. Happy holidays, and we'll see you in January.
All right. Thank you, Richard. Let me start by congratulations, Richard.
Thank you very
on
much.
your appointment, and also Mr. Ciro Calderon. Congratulations. All right, and then again, congratulations to our kids that were here that received awards, and most important, congratulations to the parents that they have these kids on the track, and hopefully they can meet their dreams. Second, as far as communication, Mike, I think some of our schools are still missing some marquees. I think that was a critical instrument to tell our community and our parents what's going on in our community. And I know Elisa's been working on them.
Yeah, and we will be getting the other two. We're already in the planning stations. They've been ordered already.
Yeah. I think that's a good tool to inform our
Correct.
parents and inform the community as to what we're going. And also, we posted signs up in the high school. I think that was a good gesture. Whoever thought about that was a good idea to inform the community as to how or where the monies are going. And last but not least, I wish everybody happy holidays, and we're ready for the year to come. So thank you again for joining us tonight. And again, the administrators, that's good. That's good to know what we have. And I'm already thinking assignments for some of you because of your what you bring to the table. So thank you again.
Thank you.
That's all I have, Mr. Romero.
Mr. Ladado?
Thank you, Lynch, on that. Just same, I just want to echo what my colleagues have said. Congratulations, Richard, Cito,
you.
on your guys' new appointment. Just want to congratulate Enrique Camarena and Blanche Charles for excellent work that they did. Maines was probably lost by just a little bit, but other than that, they're on track. All the administrators that showed up today, you guys welcome to this district. Keep up the good work. Other than that, I just want to say, Merry Christmas to all. Happy New Year. Be safe out there. Enjoy time with your family, and get ready for next year. Just like our colleague Mike said, there is a lot of good things going on here in Calexico, and we do need to figure out a way to put it out there for everybody could understand or everybody could see what we're doing. Other than that, that's pretty much it. Thank you.
Thank you.
Richard, can I have my turn
Yes.
back again? And you know what? When we talk about communication, I think this Saturday is the most appropriate time right now. This Saturday, because what's going on this Saturday?
Our parade.
The parade. So with that said, I challenge every one of you, we should have a float or something to show the community what we're doing here. And I'm willing to participate and show our community. I mean, everybody's out there, from kids to grandparents. So that would be a good gesture on our behalf.
Thank
All
you,
right,
Mr.
That's
Calderon.
all I have. Thank you.
Cito?
Thank you. Good evening. Thanks everybody for being here to our meeting. First of all, congratulations to all the students, staff, and staff that was awarded and that was recognized today. I think it shows a lot of effort from everybody when they show up and get awarded and get recognized. Mike, thank you for your service as our board president last year. Congratulations, Mr. Romero,
Thank
for
you.
being named president. And just like my colleagues were saying today, there's a lot of good things going on in Calexico. I'm the one that actually brings up sometimes the worst in this district. However, there's more good things than bad things in this district, and I believe that. And for those of you that know me, you know that I don't lie about those things. There's more good things than bad things, and let's keep it up. Okay, we have long ways to go. Nobody's perfect, but with the effort of everybody, with the help of everybody, starting from us down, we can make this happen. Okay, and everybody, please be safe. Happy holidays, Merry Christmas, Happy New Year, whatever your denomination is. The main thing is to be happy and safe during these holidays. Okay, thank you.
Thank you very much. I want to welcome everybody coming, join us at the meeting today. Congratulate Blanche Charles and Nikki Cambarena for the high attendance, and congratulate all the students and staff that were recognized. In addition, thank you, the new administrators that showed up. I know we're taking your personal time away from your family. Thank you very much. And of course, Michael, you did a great job as president.
Thank you.
And congratulations, Cito. And that's all. Thank you. Have a Merry Christmas and a Happy New Year.
And Mr. President, if I can add just in closing, again, maybe on behalf of our board, we're missing one important member of our team here, our superintendent, Mr. Gonzalez. Again, he's going through his personal issues, and we'll leave it at that. But again, I think on behalf of the board, we do wish him speedy recoveries and health and a wonderful holiday season with him and his family. So we hope to see him soon. Cool.
Thank you.
Okay, the next will be going to.
And Mr.
Action-
Maybe if I can, I know we're going to action items. I'll ask a request if we can move item K9 up, item K9, since we did have, I know there was a speaker on that, so we can address that early in our meeting.
Sounds good. We'll discuss. If it's okay with everybody, K9.
fine.
Ms. Ortega?
Thank you. My name is Ricardo Ortega. I'm the Special Projects Coordinator for Calexico Neighborhood House. A little bit of background in terms of our requests. Throughout the years, we have had what they call a winter shelter, especially when it gets below the 40 degrees at night. As you probably know, here in the desert, it gets really freezing, sometimes down to 35, 32 degrees. So during the time, usually is between December 15th and it's about the first week of February. That's when the first week of February, second week of February, it starts breaking and goes back up again, over 50 or over 55 degrees. So the request essentially is that whether we could use the Deanne's Junior High gym for a winter shelter. Neighborhood House has been doing that for many years. A long time ago when the National Guard Armory was available, that was ideal. It was a large hall, and basically it was easy to put the cots in and have the supervision. One of the things that is really important to us, of course, is the supervision and make sure that everybody obeys the regulations and the rules, and we always have people there. We always have shifts so that we have at least maybe 2 people within the shift. Usually we start at 6 in the evening and end at 6 in the morning, and then they clean up, and then it's not used during the day. The neighborhood house also has a women's shelter for many years. It started way back in 1991, and we still have that. So we know how to run a shelter, and especially a winter shelter. Recently, we were fortunate that many times there's different groups in Calexico that do help the homeless in Calexico. And we were fortunate to have actually our new mayor, Mayor Hodge, and I talked to him and he said, why don't we form a committee so that many times we can then begin to coordinate. And we began to meet about 2 months ago. The short range that we were looking at in terms of, especially as the shelter coming up, that's really our short range. The middle range the committee is talking about is having what you call a drop-in center during the day where people that are homeless or needed help, they can get case management and get resource development. That basically is the middle range objective. As you probably may know, what the problem is location, location, location. It's really because in terms of the population that we help, many times there's what you call a stigma, if you will, that many times it's not warranted, but nevertheless, it's really the location that we need to find for the middle range. The long range that we're talking about is actually building some new, what they call transitional shelters, and that one, the one taking the lead on that is Catholic Charities. They're looking in terms of maybe replacing what they have there on Encinas and making it better, if you will, because it's a building that needs a lot of repair. So we have been fortunate to begin to work together, which is good. The other good part about it is that recently the state of California awarded the county some special funds to help homeless persons. One of them, it's called the HEP and then the cash funds. The HEP funds, we were granted some funds to get or to hire some outreach people to do that they used to call them case managers, and now they call them navigators. Navigate to help them to get the resources that they need. And what's the objective? The first primary thing is called housing first, trying to get them into not so much of a transition or emergency shelter, but permanent housing, and then provide the support services so that they can stay there. So that's what they call housing first. There's been several articles that maybe the issue is not homeless, but maybe the issue might be partly housing. That is a housing issue, so that we're trying to tackle both avenues, if you will, at the same time. The county is developing what they call a comprehensive entry system, where all the counties with all the agencies within Imperial County are going to begin to coordinate with each other, which is good. They're just instituting that, and so we're hopeful that there'll be more coordination between Brawley, Calexico, and El Centro, Oakville, all the different areas of people that can help in terms of getting people into a permanent housing situation. But right now, we're really looking in terms of trying just to set something up.
Ms. Ortega, your times. Can
Oh,
you
I didn't
wrap
know
it up,
that.
please?
I didn't know that I had a time.
Yeah, you have 3 minutes. You
I see.
surpassed
3
it
minutes?
already.
No, let me get that to the end.
Okay, go ahead and can you summarize it real fast?
Yeah, okay, very quickly. We basically also been working with the Family Resource Center and Hortensia Armendariz. As you probably have heard, that we've been doing a jacket and sweater drive, which has been going really, really well. And we're fortunate that Hortensia is there, Dr. Villalobos is there, and we were really, really fortunate that they're there because they have, as you may know, the district has identified 1,000 children as being homeless within this district of Calexico. To me, that was like an eye-opener. Just to finish off, I'm hoping that the board can approve the use of the gym as a winter shelter, and if there's any questions I can answer.
Thank you. Another speaker would be Bill Hodge.
Yeah.
How are you today, board members, Mr. Castillo, and honorable school board members? I'm here in front of you tonight as mayor of Calexico to ask you to work with us, the city of Calexico, and specifically the Calexico Homeless Committee, to provide shelter for the homeless during the school Christmas vacation of 2019. It's coming up. This is going to be short. As you know, it's cold now, and it's going to get colder. So we need to protect the homeless, and that is why I'm asking you to collaborate with us so that we may mitigate the harsh conditions that the homeless suffer under. And you were kind enough to work with us a few years back, so we would really appreciate it that you can do so again for the homeless and for the community. So thank you very much.
Thank you. Mr. Kim, item K9.
This is Jung Kim. I believe everybody knows that we need to help the homeless. So I'm not going to get there, but where I see it, school facility, when they lease to some entity or somebody, they're charging the fees. So I want to clarify on these actions to make sure if you guys want to help the neighborhood house for the help the homeless, but please clarify the fees to not to implying on those the actions. Thank you.
Thank you very much. What's the wish of the board?
I think this district's been very supportive, partnering with our community agencies to serve our community. We've done this before, and I've had a chance to go down to Rockwood Plaza on First Street, and there are children there. There are young families. As was shared, I think if Hortensia were here, she'd be able to share some data of the number of students we have. We've got the McKinley-Venti Act that supports homeless children, and I think this initiative is worthwhile, and I'd be supportive of it.
In the past, we have helped when the community has asked us, and this is not an issue of whether the neighborhood house, which will lead in this endeavor, it's not like they're gonna make any money or they're there for profit. This is because they want to help, okay? And that's what this board is all about. You know, this is for our community. This is for our community members, for our children. We may have some more children there. I hope that we don't, but let's face reality, we might, okay? So I fully support this, and anytime that we can help, and because I know neighborhood house, all they do is help the community. So anytime you need our help, you can count on my support.
I have a question. How many people would you expect?
The last time that we were there, they were about, I would say about 22 to 30, about 22 to 30 persons. And they stay on cots. We use cots very well.
Mr. Ortega, when you say 22 to 30 persons, are those adults? Are those also children?
At one time, we did have a family, actually, one time with their children. Because it's a wide open, what we did at that time is just separate them into different areas of the gym. And there were also, as you probably may know, also some ladies, some women. So we then had to, make sure that they were separate. Because it's large enough that we were able to do that.
Another question that I had, do they sign out any kind of paperwork or anything like that, knowing who it is that's going to be there and stuff like that? My question is just, it's on a school grounds.
Yeah.
If it is allowed and stuff like that, if we have people that are registered that ain't supposed to be in school grounds, that could also be some type of violation of, whatever court orders they might have. That's what I'm asking.
Yeah, what we're going to try to do is essentially at least do what they call it an assessment. At least begin to do an initial, not an in-depth assessment, but at least a kind of a preliminary assessment of terms of name and what they call a presenting problem that they might have. We're going to invite other people that could come in and help them also. So it's not only, we're hoping that it's not only just shelter, that there are other people that might be coming in to provide some support services to them.
All right.
The other thing we want to do is we want to also get how many of them have cell phone numbers so that we can stay in contact after this and so that we can begin to have a relationship and be able to provide more information to them.
I have a question, but to Ms. Ramirez. Was the site contacted about this item?
In terms of facility, I'm going to relay this question to Mr. Vega.
Okay, this is basketball season.
Well, we were not directly contacted by them. I was asked to put together an MOU. Superintendent Gonzalez directed me to put together an MOU because he is the one that received a request for that facility. So hence the MOU that you're approving tonight. So no, I was not directly contacted to, for that.
Mr. Ortega, just clarifying, what were the hours you were seeking?
6 o'clock, you said.
The hours would be, if you want to call it, from 5 in the evening, 5 in the afternoon to 7 in the morning. It's just to make sure that we also have time to clean up. After, they might be able to come in, say, at 6 and leave at 6, but we need that 1 hour. We want to make sure that it's clean every day and those type of things.
Thank you.
I think that out of courtesy, the school side administrator should have been contacted and informed.
I think this board has made it clear in the past that the stakeholders should be informed of what's going on their sites. And apparently it wasn't done. And I'm sensitive to the need, but there's a lot of issues that still need to be answered.
Is there do we have a problem with our insurance, liability insurance? Will this cover, will we be covered?
Mr. Vega?
So yes, so to answer your question, yes, anybody that's in our facilities is covered. Ideally, we would like to have coverage from any party using our facilities. I don't know if that's something that neighborhood or the city can provide us, which I believe we have insurance, copy of your insurance for the city. Oh, that's yours. So yes, so we do have their insurance coverage, so we should be okay on that regard.
And the gym isn't going to be used during that time, right? It's going to be closed. There's not going to be any students going.
My understanding is that there will not be.
Sorry. Our after-school program at ninth grade campus does run until 6 o'clock. I would need to check with what exactly, if the gym is being used for facilities. Our robotics team is primarily over at the ninth grade campus, and they do have a tendency of staying late. They are in the back area of the ninth grade campus, over where ABE used to be, but they are on campus. And usually, they meet, the robotics team meets usually after 6. They go home late. They do meet over the break. And I do know this because we do provide food for them on Saturday mornings, suppers for them. And if they can, they will try to come in on Sundays as well. So they take as much opportunity to meet as they can between now and March or their competition.
See, this should have been vetted before, that we do have students there. They are using the facilities.
But we invested in this program, Raptor. If you go visit any site, you have to register. You have to actually run your numbers.
Okay, you have to scan your ID to ensure that you are not on the sexual predator list.
Yeah. That's another one.
Is
So
there-
before, because they said that these facilities were used before, what facilities were used before? That's my question that I had.
We have used the Camarena, not the Camarena,
Ninth grade gym.
We have used the William Moreno gym in the past, and I remember we have used the Ansa gym as well.
For what I've gathered, it was the answer, the last building that was used.
Which was when?
A couple of years ago, I believe.
I've been here 3 years and we haven't used them.
Okay, so it probably was longer
It
than.
was for the
than
Brown
that?
Bag Coalition.
But I have to agree with them. Before this MOU was put, somebody should have contacted the ninth grade academy administrators, Mrs. Williams, to make sure that we were not overlapping facilities used with students and them.
I don't know if Mr. Gonzalez made any contact. Like I said, I was asked to put together an MOU for this, event, so I followed up with that, but I don't know if Mr. Gonzalez did reach out or not. That's something that he, would have to answer, so.
Yeah. Why can't you use the Calexico City facilities, the community center, the senior citizen center? Mr. Hodge?
That might be a possibility, but it is being used by senior citizens, quite a deal.
Well, then our kids are using our gym.
That's true.
So,
At night, citizens are using it?
No, well, they do have some events in the evening, yes. They do have some.
But open it.
It's a possibility.
is there a motion on the floor? Either way,
I'll make a motion to approve.
is there a second?
I will second with a comment and maybe more provisions on this. I will second that we approve, however, before we approve, the approval will be contingent upon this administration to make sure that our gym is not being used by our students or the facilities have not been reserved for other activities.
And if they are being used,
Then our kids take precedence.
okay,
Our kids take precedence.
all those in favor of that motion, say aye.
Aye.
All those opposed?
No.
No. It dies.
So is there another motion?
Huh?
Do we have to do another motion?
Another
Another motion?
motion?
To deny. Mhm.
Okay, we need another motion, a motion to deny.
I'll second that.
I'll make the motion to deny the request due to the
Second.
facts of their staffing, issues with our kids using the facilities. Is there a second by Mr. Calderon, Lencho Calderon? All those in favor say aye.
Aye.
Aye. All those opposed?
Opposed?
2 opposed. 3 in favor. Item K1, memorandum of understanding between CUSD and Imperial County School for Food Service Cooperative.
I'll make a motion to approve the MOU.
Second.
Mr. Castillo made the motion. Mr.
Enrique?
Enrique Kiki seconded. All those in favor say aye.
Aye.
Aye, unanimous, thank you. K2, agreement between Calexico Unified School District and Jess Douglas Hardline for division of the State Architect Certified Project Professional Inspector Services.
I have a question. Did they go to hourly or what? I don't think I was here.
So I'll have Mr. Vega respond to that.
So originally, we had an hourly contract, which was terminated. Now, what you're approving is for the entire A2 and A3 project. So it's a fixed amount, a not to exceed amount. So you're approving a contract throughout the duration of the construction of A2 and A3.
Whoa, where's the amount?
I move to approve.
I'll second.
Seconded by Mr. Castillo. All those in favor say aye.
Aye.
No.
Aye.
No.
4 yes, 1 no. Mr. Lencho Calderon. K3, agreement between Calexico Unified School District and Imagine Learning for piloting software,
So moved.
Second.
made by Mr. Castillo, seconded by made by Quique Alvarado and seconded by Ciro. All those in favor say aye.
Aye.
Aye, unanimous, thank you. K4, agreement between Calexico Unified School District and All American Inspection, Inc. for professional services for inspector of record.
Have we used this before, or is this something new?
So this is, my understanding, this is a requirement for steel inspection, welding, the elevators, and other items.
Oh, okay. All right, I'll move to approve.
Second.
Moved by Mr. Ciro Calderon, seconded by Lencho Calderon. All those in favor say aye.
No,
Aye.
seconded by,
Kiki.
seconded by me.
Kiki.
Oh, I'm sorry. Unanimous. K5, agreement for construction services, small projects with Derma's floor covering.
I have a question. Have we assessed our sites to see how much we're gonna use this company for? Or do you have an idea?
No, well, this is, what we are addressing here are Williams complaints that were part of the last year's FIT report. So we are addressing some carpeting, flooring at the sites that, again, were noted as a deficiency in our FIT reports.
At this point, it's only the sites that you have
Yes.
here?
Yes.
So move.
Second.
Made by Lencho, seconded by Castillo. All those in favor say aye.
Aye.
Unanimous, thank you. Case 6, agreement between Calexico Unified School District and Landmark Consultants for special inspection services related to projects A2 and A3, considering projects effective January 1st, 2020.
And so this one is the inspector who still needs to follow the DSA plans, and they will be looking at the soils, the seismic, the concrete, and the geotech portion of it.
Okay. How far is A3 in the making?
So A2 and A3, so again, so we have already begun construction for A2.
Yes.
All
Yeah,
right?
I
So,
understand.
so.
It's
the
A3 I'm asking.
A3, you're looking around what, summer, August?
After.
August of 2020, so 8 months from now, 9 months?
And just for the public, A3 is the other?
It's the 12th classroom wing that's gonna be near Highway 98.
Okay.
Yes.
All right.
So that is, if you see the front of the high school, there are all the English portables.
Yes, yes.
And those
I was
mo-
just having a moment there, but yeah, I got it.
And those modulars will be relocated over here.
Yes.
That's
just
that's
northwest
part of the
by
next
August?
phase.
August-ish? Perfect. Thank you.
So move.
Second.
Made by Lencho, seconded by Cito. All those in favor say aye.
Aye.
Aye, unanimous, thank you. Case 7, extension to lease agreement between Imperial County Behavioral Health Services and Calexico Unified School District for 2019-2020 school year.
So moved.
Second.
Made by Kiki, seconded by Cito. All those in favor say aye.
Aye.
Unanimous, thank you. K8, memorandum of understanding between Calexico Unified School District and Imperial County Office of Education, Support Services, Department for Nursing, LVN Services.
Mr. Ramirez, this is a recurring.
Yes, this is our
Thank you.
yearly.
Okay.
So move.
Second.
Made by Lencho, seconded by Kiki. All those in favor say aye.
Aye.
Thank
Aye.
you. K10, rejection of claim Alvaro Reyes Echeverria versus Calexico Unified School District.
So move.
Second.
Made by Lencho, seconded by Kiki. All those in favor say aye.
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 Unanimous, thank you. K11, waive first and second reading of and consider deletion board policy administrative regulation exhibit 0520.2 Title I Program Improvement Schools.
I'll make a motion to approve.
Made by Michael,
I'll second.
seconded by Cito. All those in favor say aye.
Aye.
Aye, unanimous. K12, waive first and second reading of and consider deletion board policy administrative regulation 0520.3 Title I Program Improvement Districts.
So moved.
Made by
Second.
Kiki, seconded by Cito. Lencho.
Second.
All those in favor say aye.
Aye.
Thank you. K3, first reading board policy 0520 and intervention for underperforming schools.
Make a motion to approve.
Second.
Made by Mike, seconded by Kiki. All those in favor say aye.
Aye.
Aye, unanimous. K14, first reading of revised board policy and administrative regulations 6171, Title I programs.
So move.
Made by Lencho,
Second.
seconded by Kiki. All those in favor say aye.
Aye.
Unanimous, thank you. K15, first reading of the revised board policy and administrative regulations 0520.1, comprehensive and targeted support and improvement.
So moved.
Made by Kiki,
Second.
seconded by Michael. All those in favor say aye.
Aye.
Unanimous, thank you. K16, second reading of revised board policy 9110, terms of office.
Move to approve.
Made by Cito,
Second.
seconded by Lencho. All those in favor say aye.
Aye.
Aye, thank you. K17, provisional internship permit for Roberto A. Arevalo for 1920-20 school year.
Where is he gonna work?
It says.
This is our science teacher at Enrique Camarena Junior High
Kiki.
School.
Yeah.
So moved.
Made by Kiki,
Second.
Seconded by Michael. All those in favor say aye.
Aye.
Unanimous, thank you. K18, resolution regarding disposition of surplus personal property to Gobierno del Estado de Baja California.
So moved.
Second.
Oh, we got our Claudia here. She wants to
Okay,
speak to
she's
us.
got to submit,
Oh,
put a slip.
tenía que firmar.
Tiene que poner algo ahí para.
Perdón. No. I didn't see it.
It's item K18.
That's K18.
Practicing Spanish.
Okay, you have to go to the podium, please. Claudia Haragi?
Howdy. It could be in
Okay.
Spanish. It's better for me. ¿Ya? Ok. Bueno, pues buenas tardes a todos. Estoy aquí por parte del gobierno del estado de Baja California. Mi compañero Leonardo y yo trabajamos para el área de vinculación educativa. Ya tenemos bastantes años, casi 10 años, trabajando en cuestión con los distritos escolares y universidades en Estados Unidos, recibiendo donativos de mobiliario que las escuelas desocupan en buen estado para poder beneficiar escuelas en Baja California. ¿Sí? Estamos aquí presentes por invitación de nuestra compañera y amiga Gloria Romo, que nos comentó que el Distrito Escolar de Caléxico tiene la disponibilidad en este momento de mobiliario en buen estado, del cual nosotros podemos disponer para poder trasladarlo a Mexicali, Tijuana, Ensenada, Rosarito, etcétera, todos los lugares, ¿no? Nuestro trabajo es estatal, o sea, podemos llevar este mobiliario a cualquier parte del estado. En este caso también pudiera ser llevar a algunos muebles a albergues o lugares del DIF también que tienen que ver con gobierno del estado, ¿no? Nosotros lo que hacemos es cruzamos a Estados Unidos con un camión de 53 pies y lo llenamos hasta el tope de mobiliario para poderlo cruzar. Necesitamos una carta de donación, de dónde proviene, quién es el que nos está donando este material y el ID tax number también del lugar a donde pertenece el distrito escolar, ¿no? Para nosotros todo eso, canalizarlo al SAT México, donde solicitamos la exención de impuestos para que no nos cobren a la hora de cruzar el mobiliario. Y de igual manera trabajamos con una agencia aduanal, con un chipper, una persona aquí en Estados Unidos que nos entregue el chipper para cruzar la aduana americana y la aduana mexicana. Absolutamente todo se hace con documentos legales, como debe de ser. No podemos subir al camión algo que no venga en la lista de donación, por eso es que tenemos que ser muy específicos en qué es lo que tenemos arriba del camión. Puede ser 1, 2, 3, 12, 20 camiones, no hay problema por eso. Siempre y cuando tengamos la disponibilidad de las personas que nos apoyan en cuestión de la carga y obviamente el dinero que nos cuesta lo que es el transporte y lo que es el pedimento de importación ante la agencia aduanal. ¿Hasta ahí tienen alguna duda? ¿No? Entonces estamos en la disponibilidad de cuando ustedes lo digan. En este momento, por lo que es la transición, el cambio de gobierno y lo que es el cierre del año fiscal, pues no tenemos dinero disponible para poder hacerlo en estos días, ¿no? Aparte que ya se avecinan los días de Navidad y de Año Nuevo. Sin embargo, podríamos ponernos de acuerdo si tuviera que ser en este año y si no, entrando el año, entre enero y febrero pudiéramos tener la opción de recoger estos muebles.
Okay,
¿Alguna
gracias.
pregunta?
No, ninguna.
¿No? Muy bien. Muchas gracias a ustedes.
So this is a
Well,
resolution.
we're actually, we're talking about surplus items that we have here that had no value to the district. In fact, they're going to the.
Correct.
So
That is correct.
it would-
Yes, I made
Yes.
the motion.
This is
So,
a resolution.
question?
Is there a motion?
One more comment before
Okay.
we motion it. Then I just want to be reassured that we followed the state or federal funding terms and conditions for any asset disposal for these items.
So yes, we did consult with legal, and the only thing that was mentioned that the vote has to be a 5-0
Mhm.
in order to pass.
Very good, thank you.
So motion to approve?
I'll second that.
Motion made by Kiki, seconded by Lencho. A voice call road, there's a resolution.
Yes.
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 Suerte.
Yeah.
K19, resolution support of the schools and local communities First Funding Act.
Want me to explain? So the California School Boards Association endorses Public Preschool, K-12, and College Health and Safety Bond Act of 2020. The bond measures would provide $15 billion for the renovation, modernization, and construction of California public schools.
Is there a motion to approve?
I motion to approve, and that's from our training this past week, so.
I'll second that. 'cause
Motion
that's
by
good.
Lencho, seconded by Kiki.
Matching funds.
Resolution.
Yes.
Yes, and I hope we get on it right away.
Yes.
Cito?
Yes.
Yes. Unanimous. K20, we have a comment by Mr. Kim.
I wasn't I wasn't ready when I was here. I got the additional information during the meeting, and this interim report saying we are negative because about 30% of the part of the salaries and benefits. I mean, benefits, and they're gonna be $131 million revenue, but we're gonna spend $133 revenue, the expenditure. But I checked, compare the 12-13 budget and this year budget. They were spending, the 12-13, they were spending for the teachers' salaries $25 million. And this year, budgeted $37 million. And the administration, they had the budget $3.6 million and 12-13. And this one has $5.5 million in this year budget. If we're getting more money, we're spending more on the administration, management level. We should have, at that time, we didn't have enough teachers because the budget is shortfall. Now, we have more teachers, but still, districts spend more on administration. That time was only 13% they were spending on the administration compared to teachers. And this time, they're spending 15.7% with the administrations compared to teachers' salaries. So our district spend a lot of money with the chip, but not with Indians. That is going to quality for our children, impacting. That's why a lot of the teachers was against it. And beside that, budgeting $37 billion, but projecting is going to be the same as $37 million. But administration was budgeting 5.5, and they're going to projecting $5.8 million. So, what district doing it? We should focus on classroom, teachers, and children. But school district is not doing that way. No wonder we still have a capital under improvement school districts. We should put more focusing on the classroom and improving about the educations.
Mr. Kim, your time's
Thank you.
up. Thank you very much. Okay, Cesar.
Are you gonna go through the whole 145 pages?
It's about an hour, sorry. Good evening, members of the board, community, everyone in attendance. My name is Cesar Vega, your Assistant Superintendent of Business, and Maribel Pais, Business Manager for the district. Back in June, you approved a budget for the current year. Back then, it was a budget that was approved based upon the best assumptions that we had that directly came from the May revision. Then, when we closed the books in September, we had an opportunity to revise the budget because by then the governor had already, finalized and approved his own budget. So we knew for certain what were going to be the final assumptions for the whole year. So now what you have here is the first of two reports. So by law, we are required to present to you two interim reports. And in our language, we call them first interim and second interim. The first interim measures the expenditures and revenues for the month of July, August, September, and October, okay? So, and it is required to be presented to you on or before December 15 of the current year. So that's why we are here today. So I want you to know that every single budget that we create, every single first interim report or second interim report that we present to you, it is presented using the best knowledge and abilities that we have, and we have internal controls as well as external controls that keeps us from, miscalculating numbers or, not projecting correct data. So the County Office of Ed has the duty to check every single report that we produce and create. After tonight, once hopefully you approve the first interim report, we will submit it to the county, and the county then has X number of days, 75 days to review and then submit to the state for state approval. So my point is that everything that we do has people review it at the county level and at the state level. So rest assured that what we are presenting to you is a report that is built to the best of our abilities. Okay, so again, the last board-approved revision that we presented to you was back in September, the unaudited actuals reports. By then, again, the governor had already set his own budget and gave us the best of our assumptions that that we used at the 45-day budget revision, and now what we are doing at first interim. So there's only one slight change in the list of assumptions from the blue to the yellow, and that is on the contribution to the restricted programs. It lowered a little bit. It went from 13.7 million to 13.290. So that's a good thing. So the other 2 years, 2020, 2021, 2021, 2022, those are assumptions based on what the governor projected when he approved his budget. I will talk in more length in a later slide, but for now, I want your focus to be on the current year. So for the current year, so our revenues overall from the September 12 board meeting to now have pretty much remained the same. There's a small change in the LCFF revenue. We went from 105,900 to 105,868 minimum. The same thing for federal revenues. Where there was a little bit of an increase in revenues was on a one-time special ed early intervention preschool grant that we received. So that, in essence, it's almost $400,000. There's also a local grant that is called the Strong Workforce Program Grant, and also donations money that we received. So in essence, in terms of revenue for the current year, increase mostly on the restricted side. Revenues went up to almost $1,999,601. When it comes to expenditures, pretty much we stayed on target. Certificated salaries actually were a little bit lower than what we had projected. Classified salaries did increase a little bit by $727,000. But overall, when you look at the net increase or decrease, we had an increase of $701,000. So when you look at the last budget approved on September 15, back then we were projecting a deficit of $3.2 million. Now, as a first interim, the deficit has been reduced to approximately $2.5 million. So in essence, we have recovered about $701,000. So what does that do to our ending fund balance? Well, our ending fund balance increased by almost 0.5%. Again, this is through first interim. So far, like I said, there's a reduction in the deficit for the current year. One of the things that I would like to remind the board is that we have a position control now, Escape. Escape is a system that every month, well, when you develop a budget based on the number of positions that you have. And every position gets an apportionment based on the salary placement for that particular employee. Whenever there is a vacancy, the money that is not being used for every position on a monthly basis, if it's not used, it falls back into the general fund, okay? So that's kind of what happened last year. We had a number of vacancies that were not filled throughout the year, and as a result, we ended up with a big surplus. That was part of the reason why. We are experiencing that as well, so which is a good thing. I hope to bring you better news by second interim, but thus far, our deficit for the current year is only $2.5 million. Any questions thus far? Okay. So, two things. When it comes to general fund, what I just explained to you, I'm just putting it on a pie chart, so it looks nice and beautiful from a presentation standpoint. But there's a couple of things that I want to draw your attention to, and one is the enrollment. The enrollment that we are using, okay, it's based on the current year P1 enrollment that we received through all the way down or all the way through the first week of October. The ADA number, though, the 8966.90, it is a number that we got from last year's P2 apportionment, prior year P2s we call it, and that number is based on the enrollment of 92 and 45. So in essence, it's 96, 97% of our enrollment we are getting funded out of, correct? So that is very important because there are some changes for the 2 out years. Also at the very bottom, our LCAP funding that we are receiving is approximately $28 million that we have to spend. So when it comes to the LCAP, so a lot of people think that the LCAP dollars are base dollars, and that's not the case. We are receiving approximately $105 million in LCFF money, but not all that money is base. 28 of those 105 are LCAP designated, so those dollars are already spoken for. So we cannot assume or we cannot use them as base. We have to provide services that are above and beyond the core. So we just want to make sure that the board and the public understands that because that money is tied up to special purposes. When it comes to expenditures, although we had a little decimal, the decimals on the percentage came out. When it comes to salaries and benefits for certificated, classified employees for everyone, it's about 79% of our budget. So just want to, want to make sure the board is aware of that, and so that you take note of that as well. So our projected expenditures are approximately $132 million, 826 for 174. That's what we have projected thus far as a first interim. So, enrollment. I want to talk to you about enrollment issues that we are having. So, one of the most difficult things that we in the business office have to do is project enrollment, especially for the students that are, we don't know how many students are going to come into the district. We don't know how many babies are born on a yearly basis. We don't know how many pre-Ks, kinder students are going to start enrolling into our school. So it's really hard to project those numbers. So what we need to do is use a trend analysis. We have to rely on past years' data to determine what the estimated enrollment is going to be. So that's what we use when we create a budget, the estimated enrollment, and we also look at, we monitor that throughout the year. My hope was that by this time, because as I look back in prior years, in the month of December, and if you look at 2014, back then in 2014, around this same time, we had 9,291 students. Then the following year, 2015, we had 9,229, and then 91, 99, and on and on and on. This year, one of the biggest hits that the district is taking is that we have lost a lot of students. We, as of December 6th, we only have 9,007 students, 249 less students that, we're not get it, we don't have an opportunity to get revenue from. So that's a big change because we now have to project that enrollment and calculate an ADA that is, comparable to that enrollment. So our revenues are going to decrease for the 2 out years in our multi-year projection, and I'll show that. So, but before I go any further, I just want to, draw your attention to some of the challenges that we are facing statewide that has to do with our pension rates. Yes, last year, this year, the governor gave us additional funding to help reduce some of the burden that we have on STRS and PERS. But as you can see, from 2013, 2014 to where we are now, for PERS, we went from 11.442% to our contribution now is 19.721, and it's projected to go all the way up to 25% in 2022 and 2023. CalSTRS, if you look at 2013, 2014, we were at 8.25%. Right now, we are about 17 and 10%, 17.10, and it's projected to go about 1% more higher by 2022, 2023. So all of that has implications and affects our budget. So when you look at our multi-year projection, 2019 and 2020, again, our deficit has been reduced. But for 2020, 2021, 2022, at unaudited actuals, we were projecting a deficit of approximately $3 million for each of those years. Now our deficit has increased to approximately 4.9 for 2020, 2021, and 4.7 for 2021, 2022. And the reason for that, again, is because we have lost a lot of students. Those, and when you lose that many students, the impact is about $22.5 million in revenue that we have to, take away from what we had originally projected. So our deficit has increased. So again, we have challenges that, affects our budget. Somebody asked me a question a couple of weeks ago, hey, Cesar, why is it that we're getting 3.26%? COLA, how much is that in numbers? And what do you think we're deficit spending? Why are you saying that? And my response to him was, well, yes, the governor gave us a COLA of 3.26%, and when you quantify that, that's about $3.2 million. But yet, when you look at the cost of just a stepping column increase for the current year from last year to this year, is $1.2 million. Health insurance has gone from last year to this year, we're paying over $2 million. And then when you factor in contributions to programs that do not get enough funding, like special ed, our contributions have increased as well by $1.9 million. And then when you factor in workers' compensation rates that they have skyrocketed, and then STRS and PERS, I mean, we don't get enough revenues from the state. And again, just by remaining the status quo, every year, and from now on, every year thereafter, if we continue just to get COLA, our healthy ending fund balance that we have right now, it's just going to decrease year after year after year. This is not a problem that we have created. I just want to make sure the board understands and the community understands. This is a problem that just the state is not giving us enough to cover the continuous increase of STRS and PERS, the continuous increase in restricted programs like special ed. So we have to come up with a plan. We have to come up with the plans to balance the budget, because at this point, in 5 years, we're going to be running out of money, and this multi-year projection does not contemplate any salary increases. I'm just giving you the facts of where we are with the budget, minus the 249 students that we have lost, that we have to make revisions to the budget. So we really need to, and I have approached Ed Services, I have approached HR, and our goal is to present to you by second interim a plan to balance the budget. We need to balance it. And I know that by then I'm probably going to ask you to make tough decisions, but that's the only way that we can balance the budget, is by making tough decisions, and that involves personnel. So unless the governor next month gives us more money than we are expecting, contributes more money towards stirs and PERS that can help us lower our liability, we have to wait for that. So again, I'm sorry that I have to give you bad news, but again, part of it is because again we're losing a lot of kids, and we don't know we're going to recover. So with that, I'll open it up for questions. Anything that I can answer. Comments?
I'll quickly. 3.26% COLA last year. What is it projected to be this coming year?
Well, thank you. Good question. So there are multiple reports that are confusing. One from one of the major, I believe it's the Legislative Analyst Office, is projecting 1.74%, I believe. There are other reports that because the economy continues to grow and continues to do well, we're hoping that the number remains at 3%, if not higher, 3% or higher. But we won't know for sure until we go to the governor's workshop and really find out exactly what the governor is prepared to give us for the upcoming year.
So you're attending the governor's workshop in January, the budget. Right. Your team?
So Maribel and I have also invited CSEA to go with us. I think it's important for everyone, as many stakeholders, to learn about the fiscal conditions of the state. The state economy has continued to do well. I know that there are 3 major driving forces that the revenue that the state uses to support schools, and that's your corporate tax, sales tax, and personal income tax. So personal income tax and sales tax, revenues have come in a lot higher than projected for the vast majority of the year. Corporate tax is the one that has come a little lower than expected, but again, we won't know exactly what the governor's going to project or offer to fund education for 2020, 2021 until his report is due on or before January 10th of every year. So we won't know by then.
Okay. And again, we want to be open, transparent with the numbers that we're receiving from Sacramento. And I like the idea of inviting CSCA, and you're including our CTA as well?
I didn't see anybody in attendance, but I will extend my invitation to them, absolutely.
Just so we all can hear the same information at the same time. Thank you.
Yes.
So you said the COLA might be 1.5?
1.74.
And I see that stirs and PERS and stirs is going to increase by over 4%. So we're right there, we're losing track.
We are losing, there's a significant amount of
not
money.
taking into account with the increase in our insurance.
We're projecting anywhere between 5 and 10%, maybe even higher. We won't know until we go out to market in January. So that, again, insurance is going to increase. That's for sure. How much? Well, that's still up, for the broker to negotiate. But we are not getting enough money to offset the cost of doing business. Just remaining the same, just same amount of people, same operating budget, just from one year to the other, the revenue that we get is nowhere near enough to offset the cost of, the cost of doing business. So that's the reality that we are. And a lot of districts are going through this. But a lot of districts have to make tough decisions to keep their budgets balanced. And unfortunately, it's in the year and 2 months that I've been here, last year we did great. We were able to save some money. But I'm hoping to do the same for this year. But nevertheless, we do have a structural deficit that has not been created by us. It has been created because, again, we have people, we are being careful on not bringing in new positions. We are being careful in how we spend the money. But nevertheless, we are not getting nowhere near enough revenue to offset the cost of our expenditures.
Well, thank you. This is an excellent report. Thank you very much.
Welcome. Any more
comments
questions
from the board members?
Well, I don't think it should be a surprise to us because, and nothing against Mr. Vega, but when Ms. Randall was here, she made it clear that these coming years were going to be rough. And yet we're spending like we won the lotto. So this has been ongoing since 2014. And my concern is that we're in construction, we're going through construction, we're going through negotiations with our unions and so forth. So my question to Mr. Vega is, what are your solutions to all this? Because I don't want to have to take, well, you said we might have to make some serious decisions, and I think I know what you're going, that we need to sit down and prioritize what this district's gonna do.
If I may, yes, so we have to, look, I have engaged Elisa and I have engaged Brian and Mr. Gonzalez. My responsibility is to put together a budget stabilization plan. But I do want to go to the governor's workshop to see what the governor is going to offer us.
You know, knowledge is power, but internally, I think we have to start
Right.
making, like you said, hard decisions and start.
Right now.
Yeah,
Yeah.
now.
No, absolutely, I agree with you.
Otherwise, you're going to be giving us the same speech every time we meet. Every time you give us the budget, it's going to be the same. So we need, as a board, to prioritize where this district's going.
Mm-hmm. Absolutely.
Okay, any more comments? Thank you so much.
We got our work
Excellent
cut
report.
out for us.
So I believe we're going back to closed session?
Yes.
Okay, 20, I'm sorry. Made by Kiki,
Second.
seconded by Lencho. All those in favor say aye.
Aye.
Aye, unanimous, thank you. Now we are out, we convene to earlier closed session. Thank you.
Hmm?